trained with Dory Funk down in Florida. I started getting into different styles of wrestling. I trained British wrestling with Dave Taylor, Fit Finlay, and William Regal. I had the privilege to go down to Mexico and learn a little bit of lucha style. And there's a guy named Jorge Rivera Skyda that some of these guys have gotten to work with over the years. Because that's what we do. We go out, we entertain the people, we take them on an emotional roller coaster or whatever, and as long as they paid their money and they feel like they got their money's worth, it was a good match. Now you can take it apart and critique every last bit of it, and that's good. That'll make you better. But I don't focus too much on this is the right way, this is the wrong way. I'm just offering a different way, and I know what's worked for me, and I know what's worked for some of my peers. So don't take anything I say as complete gospel, because usually there's an exception to every rule. The first thing that you have to know when you're wrestling WWE style, or you're just, you're performing for them, is that your audience isn't always your audience. Your audience is there. Time cues, because we were always counted down by minutes. We're always given, if we're given 10 minutes, that's curtain to curtain. That means with your entrances, there's usually a minute each. That takes it down to 8 minutes. If there's something at the end, that takes off another minute. There was a reason I was signed in the first place. They saw something in me, and I had confidence in my abilities. So it's just a matter of directing those in the way that they want you to. So and it's really cool. There's so many things that I now say that I've picked up from somebody else, and it's just even 15 years in, you're still going, oh wow, I've never thought of it that way, and I'm gonna remember that forever. Well, I deserve this or I deserve that or whatever. I will tell you right now, professional wrestling does not owe you anything. It doesn't owe you anything. It just exists. Wrestling's like a roller coaster ride. You get a ticket, you put the ticket down, you get on, you go all over the place, and then you get off, and then the ride's done. That's it. You can't expect to be walking away and then still have the roller coaster feeling. Like, that's not how it works, right? You put a shitload of work into something, and sometimes it doesn't pay off. But the journey that you had to get to that point, I'm sure there are a couple things that you never would have experienced otherwise. I tagged along to shows that I wasn't on and met people to get on even bigger shows than that show. I was trying to get on this small show, but you meet somebody, and then you never know. You might have just a chance conversation, and you're fresh in their mind, and they call you up and they book you for a show. But you can't get caught in the wrestling bubble too much. You need to be able to step out and say, like, oh yeah, I had him in a chin lock, and then I let him come up, and then I let him hit me in the stomach 3 times and hit the ropes. Like, to any person on the street, that looks like horse shit. And that's why wrestling gets a bad rep, because we have all these things that we don't think about. They're afterthoughts. We're thinking about the shine. We're thinking about a fucking awesome cutoff. We're thinking about a false finish. You're thinking about kicking out at one and firing up on the guy. You're not thinking about the little shit that detaches people from what we do. And you're not going to detach yourself from the niche fans that are there and that are going to be there, because they're going to be there regardless, and they're going to be watching, and some of them are going to be bitching no matter what. It doesn't matter. They're just a different perspective. But the people that we need are the casual fans. We need those people to watch it and go, oh shit, that looked good, and then start watching, and then like, oh, that was cool when that guy said that. I really like that. Let me look that guy up a little bit more. And now there's, even if it's slight, there's a connection between this person and that character. Some of you guys have seen me wrestle Eddie Kingston before, right? Okay, we beat the shit out of each other. That's the basic idea of a tag team match, but we always run past it. Because we're like, all right, well, you're going to blind tag here, and we're going to do this, and we're going to dump down, and we're going to double duck. Like, that's cool if you've built the foundation, right? Then you can put that stuff on top of it. So things like, for the babyface, tagging in and out, doing, making it exciting, not too complicated, because like I said, when you make it too complicated and the ref gets buried, the guy on the apron gets buried, it just doesn't do you any favors for the match. If you've got like a John Cena or something like that, and he's already over, when you're over, you can really do no wrong, and then you can kind of play around and make shit up, but it's okay for John Cena to hit the AA on somebody and then go back to selling, because the people paid to see him. They paid to see that. Then what's going to happen? The guy's going to tag out, and then they're going to come in and try to stop the tag, and then he's going to tag in Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is going to come in and hit all this signature stuff, and that's what they paid to see. We're not those guys. We don't have that relationship with our fans, so you can't expect them to just like go crazy on something, and then 30 seconds later go crazy on a bump and feed, right? So you kind of work against yourself if you make your own comeback. There's a time and a place, obviously, but more often than not, you just, the story, tag, make the tag, make the tag. This guy's like having trouble getting in the ring because there's, you're so crowded. I'll tag the guy and help over here. So that way you've got room to get in the ring, you've got room to do stuff, he's got room to sell, and you're not like crammed on top of him. There's a time and a place to get a guy down and kick the shit out of him and put him in faces, like trying to stay active. Like you don't want to just keep getting in the ring, like it's just kind of silly. If you're a heel, you maybe want to like hit the guy off the apron. If you're going to do that, just do it once. Don't do it unless you're going to tell a story. Unless you're going to tell a story where you knock him off, and then you go to knock him off, he jumps down, oh shit, whatever, go through the legs, there's the tag, boom. That's a story. And also, whenever there's any kind of an issue in a match and you're done with the match, give yourself like 5 minutes. Wait, trust me. Just wait, because I've had so many embarrassing blow-ups. Like, I go through the curtain like, where the fuck were you? I told you to fucking do this. And then you're so like riled up because you're like adrenaline's going. And then 2 minutes later, you feel like the biggest piece of shit because you just yelled at this guy, and then you find out it was a misunderstanding, and you find out that you were the one that fucked up, and then you're just like, oh man, I feel like such an idiot. I don't want to ever feel like that. Like, so just wait. Yeah. But I came through here and I fed my arm and my leg through, and I gave him like a little dig right there to go face first. Some people kind of, you give them that and they'll take a roll, which is a little dangerous. It still looks cool, but so if I have him here, I'm gonna come. That's what you're talking about. You don't have to do that. That's not what I mean. I mean, if you want like a boom, something to grab their attention because they may be eating popcorn or whatever. They see the guys in the ring. They've seen it a million times. Seen the guys circle. A good strong lockup, not a lockup that's gonna like, not like a double chop or any shit like that, but a good physical lockup makes somebody go, oh, it's like a collision. You call it in the ring, it's the fucking shits. Okay, so you need to figure out something with your life because you're giving me critique, but your stuff's terrible. There is an art to calling it in the ring. It's a fucking brilliant art to it. But calling it in the ring, for some people, is just being fucking lazy. You don't want to put any thought into it. You just want to go out there, you want to do a couple moves. When you call it in the ring, legit, you're listening to the people, you're working with your opponent, something happens that you didn't expect and you make it 10 times better than it was supposed to be, that's the art of calling it in the ring. And you have to do it to get better at it. Not this lazy bullshit, hey, it's fucking Mark's going over there, fucking match, whatever, right? That's two extremes. You don't want to go over your match so many fucking times that it becomes a dance routine, right? Then there's no feeling. But you also don't want to go out there and not call it and have a lazy match with no fucking bumps, right? So you have to like meld them together. A perfect balance of calling stuff and putting it together and then leaving room to switch things up. To see that these people are giving you heat. To see these people are giving you heat and you're supposed to be the fucking babyface. Okay, first of all, we're pro wrestlers. So the underlying foundation of all this is that we know how to wrestle. There's certain gimmicks where people are like, fans or whatever they get into, and they're not really wrestlers. But the underlying foundation is that he may be this guy, he may be that guy, but they can fucking both wrestle. So if you're all character and when it comes in the ring, it's the shits, you're gonna get an entrance pop. You're gonna be in some backstage segments. That's it. Yeah. So he's a bad example though, because he drew money. He drew a lot of fucking money. How hard is it to make $1 nowadays? It's fucking tough. And then the second you make it, it goes out the window, right? So the people that are buying these tickets, that's hard-earned money. Make it worth their while. Whether they want to boo you or cheer you, like just give as much to it as you want out of it. And some way it'll come around. It may not come around in wrestling success, but it'll come around in life.